I walked away from this whole hearing I was defeated in a lot of ways, realizing that in the halls of Congress, there's not one person on the Democratic side that I exchanged with that can even see, at least they're not admitting to be able to see, the absolute illogic and immorality and brutality of abortion, and that their minds are so bogged down with ignorance and are so convoluted that they can't even form any kind of even pretend coherent arguments, because it just doesn't make sense. And so if you're on this side, ask yourself why. It's a simple question. This is what I always tell people when they ask me, oh, what should I say to my liberal friend who believes this? Ask them why. Why do you believe that? Okay, why this? Keep going with why. Ask why without sounding badgering as many times as you can to see how they are able to justify it. All of the women in there they were snapping behind my back whenever one of the pro-abortion people said something that didn't make any sense but maybe sounded good, who were literally hissing and laughing behind me. I could hear the noises that they were making. They are so brainwashed. They're so brainwashed with ignorance, and it's cruel, honestly. But I am praying specifically for the girl who rolled her eyes behind me the whole time. But I am just praying that the eyes of their hearts would be enlightened. And the reason why it's worth it to me, for me or for anyone else, to speak about this, even when we are going to get shouted down and interrupted and condescended and invalidated and laughed at, is because of the messages that I receive, not from people in Congress, not from people who work at Planned Parenthood, but you, the mom, the college student, the young woman who is just trying to figure out her worldview, and you were pro-abortion or pro-choice. Maybe you thought you were pro-choice by default because that was just what women believe. Maybe you were someone who believes, I'm personally pro-life, but I believe that women should have a choice. And those of you who have emailed me, messaged me, tweeted at me saying you changed my mind on this. Well, first of all, whether you're a Christian or not, that was the Holy Spirit. And I'm very thankful that this podcast can be used in that way. But I speak to you guys. I look at the camera for you guys. I get in front of Congress and in front of C-SPAN cameras for you guys. For those of you whose minds I know can be changed and whose hearts can be molded. I do care. Obviously, I want all the minds to be changed on abortion as possible. But if there's just one person who listened to the congressional testimony yesterday, whether it was what I said, what a congressperson said, and they start to wonder about the validity and the morality of their own side, that's totally worth it to me. I don't care how much I get shouted down. I don't care how much I get laughed at. I don't care how much Debbie Wasserman Schultz thinks she owns me and then reclaims her time when I say something that she doesn't like. I don't care. It's all worth it. And what they don't realize is that there are millions and millions of women who the only reason why they think they're pro-choice is because they never thought about it. And then once you think about it just a little, the entire argument of being pro-choice completely falls apart. That's why none of the witnesses on the panel really had anything coherent to say. That's why every time I brought something up that was inconvenient about abortion, the Congress people reclaimed their time. They didn't want to recognize the truth about the whole thing.